Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran and welcome to the AAA webinars to success for December 2024 exam. These webinars are the free one which I do for my YouTube channel and for the benefits of the AAA students globally. Let's see what is in store for this webinar. In this particular webinar, I will be focusing on from September to December 24, I will be investigating have there been any addition which you should be aware of. I will be looking at the focus list, examiner mindset, time management, and professional skills. Let's open each one of them in order. The very first thing is to look for has something changed from September 24 to December 24 exams? And the answer to this is no. Since the September 24 exams are over and now we're preparing for the December 2024 exams, there has been no changes. There has been no new publications by the AAA examining team over the last 3 months. That means there is no particular new article which you should be preparing for the December 24 exams, nor there is any particular current issue. But having said that, there are some recent publications in the last 12 months or so which still holds importance. Some of them includes data analytics and, more importantly, the focus of the examining team around sustainability information. I'll be coming to that shortly. The focus list for the December 2024 exams. On the left-hand side, you can see the topics. But again, a disclaimer is very important. These are just topics based upon my assessment. This is not a substitute that you're not substitute that you should not be revising or going through the full syllabus. That is very, very important. Now, in terms of my focus list on the left-hand side, quality management definitely is a dominating area, and I believe it will continue to dominate the December 2024 exams as well. Sustainability assurance, we know that there is a focus on sustainability assurance, 3 publications around that in the last 12 months. And again, that holds quite a significant position, according to me, for the upcoming AAA December 2024 exams. Review of prospective financial information, due diligence, revision of the standards, that is key to success. You need to ensure you're revising your accounting standards because you know that plays a very crucial part in a question on audit risk of material misstatement, in a question around evidence, and in an audit report question. So you need to be very well versed with your accounting standards, and you should brush them over as quickly as possible. In a report related question, which we find in section B of the paper, I expect examining team testing more knowledge around or more questions around the paragraphs like MURGC, key audit methods, other meta paragraph, other information paragraph, and emphasis of a meta paragraph, more than the opinions. That's just my perspective. And questions around critical appraisals. More importantly, reporting to those charged with governance also holds importance in my focused list. Practice. Now, when you're practicing for December 2024 exams, I would prefer that you practice the more recent papers. I would prefer that you start from the latest paper, which is the March-June 24 paper on the ACCA practice platform, and then go backward. And I would prefer if you can do the latest 6 papers, that would be sufficient and appropriate for your exam preparation. But please ensure you are doing your ACCA December 2024 mock. That is very, very important. So if you do 6 recent papers, plus you do the mock, that's 7, and that's good enough in that 1 month you are left ahead of your exams. So that is the focus list in terms of the topics and the practice. But again, the full syllabus is very, very important. Articles, 10 of them. You can see that big 10 number. I devised a list of 10 very important articles, which I believe you should be going through. You can see that list on your screen now. Articles around sustainability information and sustainability assurance under the syllabus area F are very important. There are three of them, which you can see in front of your screen. One is the proposed international standard on sustainability assurance 5000. The other two are assurance of social, environmental, and sustainability information part 1 and part 2. Then we know there is a plenty of focus by the examining team on quality management. So it's better that you explore ISQM1 and ISQM2 as articles, because there are plenty of areas within the articles which are still not tested and could be tested in the future exams. So please ensure you go through the two articles, ISQM1 and ISQM2, under the syllabus area C. Audit report to those charged with governance is an important article. You will find that under syllabus area E. Approach to section A question. That's a very important article which tells you how a question one is formulated, what sort of things the examining team expects from you in a question number one. That's under the syllabus area D. And then there are three exam technique articles. One exam technique article is around business risk, which you will find under syllabus area D. One exam technique article is around audit risk and risk of material misstatement, again, which you will find under syllabus area D. And then there is an article on ethics in the AAA exam, how you should write a good ethics answer. That's under syllabus area B. That's a list of 10 articles, which I would prefer you each one of you are reading through. Examiner mindset. How important is to read the examiner mindset? That is the crucial step, according to me, if you want to be successful in the triple exam. Reading through the most recent examiner report. I have been emphasizing on importance of reading examiner report in every of my webinar I do. And I believe this is an area which students don't explore much. At least download the recent examiner report, the March-June 24 examiner report. Spend time on it. Even if you spend like 60 to 75 minutes on it, reading through it, that would be very, very important for your progress to success in the upcoming exams. Because when you're reading through the examiner report, you will be able to understand what your examiner is expecting from you. And are you fulfilling it? That is very, very important, because when you're reading through it, you're scanning yourself. And if the examiner is criticizing something or is appreciating something or is giving you an advice, you have to relate that with you. Are you fulfilling it? You need to judge yourself. Where are you standing in terms of the examiner report, and how well prepared you are to impress your examiner in the December 2024 exam. That is very, very important. So please ensure that at least one examiner report, I'm not expecting more than that, but one examiner report is downloaded, is read through, and you try to relate that examiner report with you. Are you fulfilling it? Whatever the examiner is saying in the examiner report. You might find a lot of flaws, a lot of shortcomings, and a lot of gaps which you can fill up before the December 24 exam. So the basic purpose is identify the gaps. Are you fulfilling it? You will find gaps. And if those gaps are filled up, you are going towards excellence in the AAA December 24 exams. So that is very, very important, that one examiner report is thoroughly read and the gaps are identified, and overcome those gaps ahead of the exams. Time management. We know time management continues to be a challenging area, even though I have repeated this subject matter in each of my webinar, but still I believe the students struggle with time management in the real exam. What you can do best to ensure that you are overcoming the challenge of time management in the triple exam, you need to ensure you are practicing lots of past papers under time management at home, because that's the only thing you can do best. Which, if you're doing 5 papers, 6 papers, which I've recommended you, the recent ones, do each paper within a time management. Where the time ends, simply write time ends here and move on. Don't complete it. So you're doing the question number 1, You know the stipulated time for question number one. I have covered that even in my previous September 24 webinars as well. You will find them on the YouTube channel. So you finish the question number one within a time. Wherever the time gets over, put there, time ends here, and move to the question number two. Time ends here, move to the question number three. Do 5 papers or 6 papers, including your mock paper, in this manner, and you will be amazed to see the results. If you follow this practice, you are better assured to have a better time management in your real exam. A lot of time, the student don't practice a single paper with time management, and that is a disaster in making for your real December 2024 exam. If you're not doing a single paper with time management at home, what do you expect in the real exam? In the real exam, you have an extra stress. You have an extra burden. You will collapse. You might not complete one question in the paper. You might not even complete 60 to 65% of the paper. But if you do the time management techniques on like recent 5 papers and the mock paper, you might be able to complete 90 to 95% paper in the real exam. It's about stopping where the time ends and moving on. I've been repeating these statements in every of my webinar. Stop where the time ends and move on, because there are opportunities awaiting you in the next question. Don't just excel one question. So please ensure you are implementing the time management at your practice you're doing at home, because that implementation at home would really prepare you well for the big day, your exam day for December 2024 exams, unless you will struggle badly for time management in the real paper. Professional skill marks in AAA. Apart from time management, which I believe is one of the reasons why students fail in the AAA paper, the second most important reason to me why students fail in the AAA paper is that you're not scoring much on the professional skill marks, even though that's something easier. I tried giving you some examples today of how you can excel in the areas of professional skill marks, and I hope that will contribute positively towards you gaining more professional marks in the upcoming exams. Look at the bullet number 2 on your screen. Student tends to score less on professional marks, though you need to do simple things to add value to your answer you're writing. Exercise judgment, bullet number 3, and and you should have a reasoned basis for your judgment. There is no one right or wrong judgment. You are not matching with examiner. Please put this off your mind. You're not matching the examiner. It is your judgment and your basis which is rewarding. Examining team wants to know that if you have exercised this judgment, what are the bases? They will appreciate your basis and they will reward you professional marks if you have given a proper justification for your basis, for any judgment, for any decision, for any assumption you have taken in the exam. Number 4, concluding something when particularly the requirement of the question asks you to evaluate something. So wherever you see the word evaluate, try to give a conclusion at the end of the answer, because that conclusion will justify that you have understood the term evaluate well. Number 5 bullet, providing conclusion for audit risk and providing conclusions for risk of material misstatement, that which of the risk you have written above in your answer are more significant and why. So you must have written 6 risk or 7 risk above. Out of those 6 or 7, which 2 are more important? Which will you prioritize? Which 2 will you prioritize? And which 2 are important and why? It's not just telling this and this is important. It's also telling this and this is important and why. If you miss on the why, you're losing your professional marks. So the why is very, very important. At times, the students simply identify that this and this is important, but they fail to justify why. That is very, very important. And that's what the examining team is looking for. Investigating management bias wherever possible in the scenario, in an audit risk question, in a risk of material misstatement question, or it could be elsewhere in an evidence question, or in a reporting question. Wherever you find anything fishy, anything skeptical, anything suspicious, and you believe this has been done by the management to fabricate the financial statements, please do comment on that. So wherever possible, wherever you find something suspicious, something you believe management is doing to window dress a financial statement, don't ignore it. Comment on it, because you need to be skeptical. You need to demonstrate your skeptical mindset. You need to ensure that management is the one who is involved in the window dressing. And all the information which is given in the AAA paper is about the management, is about what the management is doing. So there could be some indicators of management bias present in some questions. Wherever they are, investigate them and write upon them. Lastly, try identify the trend analysis, something increasing or decreasing in the numbers shown to you. If numbers are given to you, see what is rising and what is falling in the numbers. Relate those risings and fallings with your risk answers. Relate those risings and falling with any indicator of management bias. A lot of time, if the numbers are given, students don't use them. Try to find the increase or decrease, or start to find a ratio, even though the examining team is not asking for. But yes, that could really give a very good value addition to your answer. So you can relate a number. Suppose if there is a risk of overstatement in sales, and you're writing about the risk of overstatement in sales, but you go and see the numbers. The sales have risen by 14% over the last year. So you would be a good student if you say there is a risk of overstatement in sales, and the sales have already increased by 14% over the last year, means such risk exists. So relating numbers with your statements where possible, you will be writing a very impressive answer for your marker, and the marker will be very happy with you. Moreover, the bullet number 1 on this particular slide, keep your answer close to case. The more your answer is extracted from the case and well blended with it, you are scoring professional marks. That is one easiest technique you can do. Try to write a case focused answer. If you're blending your answer with the case, your answer is close to the case, you're scoring a lot of professional marks. Number 2, discuss a clear implication of business risk, bracket commercial acumen. We know that's one area where commercial acumen comes in the paper, as to how the risk will impact the business objective. So if you're writing upon the risk, be sure how this risk will impact on the business profitability, or on the business competitive advantage, or on the business reputation, or on the business relationship with stakeholders. There are so many business objectives, right? Yes, the financial objectives are more important than the non-financial objectives. Your audit procedures should be very clear, should be very well connected to the information given to you in the case. We know whenever you're making a procedure in the AAA paper, you have a scenario, you have a case. Even if you're making procedures on deferred taxation or government grant or anything, that paragraph will be there in the scenario. You need to read through that paragraph. You need to extract procedures out of that paragraph. So firstly, they're well connected. And secondly, your procedures are clear in accordance with the information given to you on the day of exam. In every procedure, please ensure you are asking a question to yourself why you are doing so. Because for every procedure, you have to write a purpose. 4th bullet, mostly student tends to tell that this will lead to a qualified opinion, but does not justify why. You simply say this will lead to a qualified opinion, or this will lead to a disclaimer of opinion, but you're not giving justification of your judgment. I mentioned that earlier. What are basis of your judgment? What are justification of your judgment? That is very, very important. Just simply stating this will be a qualified opinion is not impressing the marker. No value additions. Second last bullet, even in an ethics question, student fail to justify why it is a threat. They simply will tell this is a self-interest threat or a self-review threat. Again, no justifications. Why? No reasonings. Why? If you're not giving justifications, if you're not giving reasonings, you're not impressing, you're not giving any value addition to your answer. Lastly, reasons. Why? Implication. Lack of judgment. Not investigating management bias, not questioning management opinions given in the scenario, or the statements of the management skeptically, are some common reasons that you're not scoring professional marks. Either you're not investigating management bias, either you're not challenging the management statements, Either you are not telling the why, either you're not telling the implications, either you're not exercising sound judgments, either you're not giving the basis of your judgment, either you're not giving proper reasons. You're doing something in the last bullet within your answer in section A and B where you're scoring less on professional marks. I hope this discussion around professional marks will help you excel on it. If you investigate the recent examiner report, you read through it, you will be able to identify more information on that, more gaps between you and the examiner on professional marks, which you can really fill up. I hope you will thoroughly enjoy this webinar where we spoke about the focus list of practice, the focus list of topic, the focus list of articles. We even talked about time management, professional skills, and we even talked about has anything changed from September to December 24. So this was just a crisp webinar just to give you an idea, a mindset. If you're preparing yourself for AAA December 24 and you're not my student and you're using my free resources over the YouTube, so this is for your benefit. So at least you get something out of it and you can make a strategy for the next 30 days and you stick to it. I wish you all success. Your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from this AAA webinar to success for December 24. Take care. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.